Hello, classmates and Dr. T. This is Nicole Dalton, and this is my MPA 545 week number 5 multimedia discussion board. I have noted all of my journals and news articles in the current slide, so it's easy to follow along. And with that, I'll get started. The employee union group that I've selected for this presentation is Teamsters Local 1932, and this group covers lots of different public agencies, including fire departments, police departments, and specifically for the city of Rancho Cucamonga, they cover the Public Works Department that can be pictured here. And they cover all of these people throughout San Bernardino County. And after the Janice case hearing, one of the members wrote a very long article, which I have created a citation in there. But basically afterwards, their approach was to educate their members on why they need to be covered and the importance of being a part of a union. So they wanted to create this sense of community and sense of belonging for their members, so that way they would not lose participation in their union groups. The journal that I've selected is Public Sector Unions, Democracy and Citizenship at Work, Labor History. And the journal goes into discussing how in the 1970s, governments around the world were talking about how involved the government should be and how much power they should have. And the journal specifically goes into labor unions and how they can be successful. So ultimately, the journal goes into saying that the way that unions are able to be successful is by adjusting to the times and to their environment, because obviously political climate changes all the time, and unions need to be flexible in order to adhere to whatever is going on in that political climate. And this actually reminded me of Waldo's journal in our classics book, The Administrative State, The Conclusion. And in Waldo's journal, he says that we should be socially aware of our economic, political, and social climates as public employees. And this obviously is accurate for both the unions as well, so that way they can keep up with whatever is going on in our society. The news article that I selected for Act 10 was written in June of 2021, so 10 years after Act 10 being put into effect. And some of my classmates are going to be mad at me for saying this, but in 2011, I was a sophomore in high school, so if I did know anything about it on the news, I probably forgot or couldn't wrap my brain around it. So this was a completely new story to me. But now looking at this act through the lens of a public employee, I could see how frustrated people are having to pay more into their health insurance and pensions and seeing a significant decrease in their paychecks every week. But I just find this really interesting going into this week's learning lesson, seeing all of these employees who are trying to protect their own rights and fighting against Act 10 and wanting to protect their incomes and pensions. And then you have the Janice case where he didn't want the protection of the union group. He wanted to make his own decision and protect his rights as a United States citizen. So it was just really interesting to see that turmoil and the pull from two different sides. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I look forward to listening to all of your presentations and your takes on this week's lesson. I hope you all have a great week.